After the grand success of our first and second annual Asian Awards, Insurance Alerts is proud to announce third annual Asia's Best Insurance Companies Award. This year we have introduced so many new categories, so now you can nominate for 35 categories. This year they are:
Best Insurance Company, Asia's Best Insurance Company Domestic, Asia's Most Visible Insurance Company, Asia's Best Visible Insurance Company Domestic, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Cashless Services, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Paperless Services, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Risk Management, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Digital Presence, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Digital Convenience,
Asia's Best InsurTech, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Use of Artificial Intelligence, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Best Place to Work for Women, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Innovations, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Customer Obsession, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Claim Management, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Personal Line Products, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Commercial Line Products, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Group Products, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Sachet Products, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Innovative Products,
Asia's Best Insurance Company for Products, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Digital Sales Channel, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Retail Channel, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Bancassurance Channel, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Agency Channel, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Rural Channel, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Government Initiatives, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Educational Initiative, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Diversity, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Working Environment,
Asia's Best Insurance Company for Work Culture, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Rural Presence, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Rural Activities, Asia's Best Insurance Company for Advertising Campaign, Asia's Best Insurance Company for CSR Initiative.
Multiple categories nominations comes with the advantage of enhanced chances of winning. Startups, small and emerging companies can nominate under promising category also. Nominations for third Asia's Best Insurance Brokers, TPAs, Web Aggregators and Insurtech is also open.
The third annual Asia's Insurance Industry Awards for life insurance companies, general insurance companies, health insurance companies, takaful companies, insurtechs, brokers, TPAs, and web aggregators is organized by Insurance Alerts.
Insurance Alerts is India's largest and Asia's second largest exclusive insurance news platform, reaching over 20 countries twice daily to insurance professionals with over 40% to top management of insurance companies, brokers, Insurtech, TPAs, and web aggregators.
We are connected to over 22,500 on LinkedIn. Our Insurance Alerts broadcast is the world's only exclusive insurance content YouTube channel with over 100 videos on insurance.
For nomination form or more details, write to us on events@insurancealerts.com or call/WhatsApp us on +91 797 773 3908.
Welcome to Insurance Alert broadcast. I am Vivek Jain, Editor-in-Chief. Today, we are going to talk to Mr. M. Rajendran. Mr. M. Rajendran is Managing Director, Futtaim Willis Company, UAE. With Mr. Rajendran, we are going to find out what is the opportunities and challenges he foresee for the UAE market now and in times to come? So let's listen to him.
See, in my opinion, the UAE economy is bound to grow substantially. What I see is, I would not say post-pandemic. We are still going through the process of hoping that the pandemic will cease to exist in the next few months. But having said that, I have seen the economy grow substantially in the last 5 to 6 months, especially after the relaxation of some of the rules. And with the start of the expo, it's only improved further. In my opinion, in the next 2 years, the economy is going to grow at a much faster pace than what it has done prior to the start of the pandemic. This brings, numerous opportunities for us, including new investments into the geography, especially with the Expo 2020's success. I don't know to what extent how the Expo 2020 has been going, but I believe it's been a resounding success. And the number of visitors coming into this part of the world is amazing. And we have, close to 97-98% occupancy rates in hotels right now. So that shows that the economy is bound to only grow at a much faster pace in the next couple of years. See, after departure of the reinsurance brokers from the market in the last 2 years, last 4 to 5 years, we have seen gradual reduction in number of reinsurance capacity from the market. We had a lot of Lloyd syndicates here, who a lot of them have closed shop and gone back to the UK. But now we are seeing a reverse trend happening. And we find that the market is opening up, especially DFC market is opening up. And we can see more and more players coming into the market, whether it's MGAs or whether it's reinsurers or reinsurance brokers. And I think that this trend will continue, which will in effect create more capacity. That in effect, helps the industry locally, because I'm speaking more in terms of the UAE market. So I see a lot of, positivity in terms of the UAE insurance industry going forward. Again, the real estate market is really been booming now. And the number of sales going around is amazing. It's even much better than what's happened in 2019 before the pandemic. So we see once the real estate market opens up, it creates more opportunities because more and more new developments are coming up. And that creates a positivity in terms of creating more opportunities in the construction industry, which in turn impacts the insurance industry on the engineering side quite substantially. So we see that as a big change in terms of what's happening in terms of the real estate market. Even then, other perspective, there are a lot of opportunities which lies untapped. For example, in certain lines of business, like specialties, primarily in the area of energy, for example. See, the competition in energy is very restricted right now, because a lot of companies here don't have the capacity or the treaties to write energy. There are a few companies. But the energy market is booming, and companies like Marsh are doing exceptionally well in that because they don't have too much of competition. But I think more and more brokers, international brokers, and companies are now looking at those sectors much more carefully because they see there is an opportunity, especially in renewable energy, clean and renewable energy areas. We are not talking of the old style in terms of purely oil, but now more and more companies are talking about clean and renewable energy sector. So I think one of the focus areas which comes into play is that other specialist classes, for example, in the financial line sector, primarily what we're talking about is cyber, D&O, E&O, and and areas like I would say things like not just cyber, but I would say things like bankers bonds. These are all areas which are growth areas coming up. See, the problem in the past has been the market capacity. Again, underwriters here, unfortunately, most of them do not have the capacity nor the underwriting capabilities to this class of business. But the fact of the matter is that with the pandemic having come into play, more and more companies are realizing that they need to have these sort of covers in place for them to be sustainable in the long term. Because technology has advanced so much that what happens is that if these companies don't have the necessary covers in place, then they would find themselves out of business in the long run. Because awareness has come into play a lot on these classes of business. So we believe that these are the areas where people need to concentrate on, and the opportunities are immense. And having seen that, we can see that more and more insurers insurers are now coming out with, treaties which support these classes of business. So that is one area which I think creates a lot of opportunity in the UAE market, for example. And not only in the UAE, I would say in the larger Gulf and potentially in places like India also, because I think the digitalization process has moved fast forward because of the pandemic. And that in turn has helped these areas of business to grow substantially because the exposures are also substantial.
Yeah.
See, other opportunities which I see in the market is in terms of, what you call the SME business. See, in the past, what I've seen, especially in this part of the world, is that, people don't understand how the SME business can be made successful. I'm talking in terms of the insurance related business, because people did not have the tools and the wherewithal to understand how to make this SME business successful. But I think things are changing. For example, in our own company, what we have done is we have worked on a model which works for us in terms of enhancing our revenues from the SME sector. Because if you look at the UAE market, almost 85 to 90% of the business can be categorized as SME. Now, these are not being tapped in a much more structured manner in the past. But having said that, we see a lot of potential now coming into play if you're able to structure it properly. The other area where I find, a lot of opportunities coming again is in the health and benefit sector. Because during the pandemic, a lot of companies reduced their staff. And the health and benefit sector really suffered because of that. But once the pandemic has eased, we find more and more companies are now in the stage of recruiting new people. And you can see a large influx of expatriates into the UAE market in the recent past. And what we see is, as a result, is that, there is a growth in the premium from the health and benefit sector. Now, again, the uniqueness of this country is that only Dubai and Abu Dhabi have compulsory health insurance. Whereas there are other 5 Emirates who don't necessarily have compulsory health insurance. But there is a movement on the part of these Emirates also to introduce compulsory health insurance into the market, which I believe will result in a spurt in the growth in terms of the health and benefits, primarily medical, we're talking about, which will help the industry also increase its footprints in terms of this area of business. So this I can sort of encapsulate as the major opportunities within the UAE and the larger GCC markets.
Okay, sir.
Do you have any questions in relation to that?
No, it's fine, sir. I think this suffices and very crystal clear, short, and to the point.
Now, in terms of challenges, for the past 2 years, we have seen that in the general side of the business, primarily in the property side, we have seen there has been a substantial increase in the rates within the world market as well as the UAE market. I think that's primarily because Lloyd's also has reviewed its business strategy, as a result of which a lot of Lloyd's syndicate had to reduce the capacities, which impacted, of course, the larger companies in this part of the world as well, because treaty capacity suddenly reduced. As a result, you saw property insurance prices rising substantially, sometimes even to the extent of 30 to 40% increase in pricing. But since the end of last year, I think it is more or less stabilized within the property side. But we continue seeing a substantial increase in pricing within the financial lines of business, primarily D&O and E&O. And I think this is largely because the capacities have reduced substantially. New players are yet to come into the market. Whether it's a UAE market or the global reinsurance market, I think there are not enough players right now. And what we have seen happening is, clients have had to reduce their limit of liabilities in order to be able to, pay the premiums which have been requested or required by the reinsurers. So what is happening is, this is a real challenge, because companies which used to have substantially high limits in terms of D&O, for example, they have had to reduce the D&O limits of liability, because the premiums are going up by almost 15 to 20 to 25 to 30% in various cases, even with no claims. And that trend, I think, will continue till new players come into market and, and the capacity increases. And of course, it also is directly in some way related to the pandemic, which has caused all this sort of claims coming up in the least recent past. I think once the pandemic eases and the market capacity increases, I think that should sort of be a little more stabilized, I think at least by the third or fourth quarter of this year. This is my personal opinion. On the health and benefit side also, we have seen the market becoming harder slightly, with key players becoming increasingly risk averse. That's primarily because what has happened is, post the pandemic or post the initial phase of the pandemic, once the hospitals opened up for normal procedures, the number of claims increased substantially. What was happening during the pandemic was people were not visiting hospitals. So as a result, the claims were coming down. And as a result, what happened was the prices of the medical insurance also came down, because there was a lot of competition between insurers to try to get the business, you see. But the trend has reversed again, and the claims have gone up substantially. And more often than not, we find the combined operating ratios of most of these clients is above 100%. So insurers are finding it increasingly difficult to sustain the rates with which they were charging premiums to the clients in the past. And now we have seen a very important trend that prices are increasing by 15 to 20%, which is also causing a little bit of consternation for the clients as well. So what they're also trying to do, clients are also, instead of going in for wider scope of benefits, they are reducing the benefits to the employees. So it's a very difficult balance in terms of pricing vis-a-vis the scope of cover. But having said that, there is still a lot of competition in the market, because there are a lot of players operating in this market, providing health and benefits insurance, you see. So until such time this competition is reduced, we'll still feel and see that there will still be premiums which are sometimes lower than the actual loss ratios of these clients. So that challenges are always there. Another challenge is the economical situation, which is driving employees to be increasingly cost conscious, which negatively affects the proposition being offered to the insured members, primarily in the health and benefits. So challenges, I would say, are less. Of course, the pandemic still continues to pose a challenge, because businesses still cannot operate at full capacity. But other than that, I think in the overall scheme of things, the opportunities certainly outweigh the challenges we are facing in the industry. See, the other issue which is slightly away from all this is the lack of enough talents in this market. Because the movement of people have reduced from other countries right now. So companies are only able to recruit within the market itself. So that does cause a little bit of problems. For companies which want to really grow, they find it very difficult to attract the right sort of talents, because not enough talents around. Primarily, I would say this is affecting the sales side of things, because sales, business development people who are well entrenched in their existing companies don't want to move in the current situation. So companies which want to invest and grow don't always find it very easy to get the right sort of people. So this, I would say, are possibly the challenges we faced or we continue to face in this marketplace.
What about life insurance, term plans and all that?
See, life insurance penetration has certainly gone up, but with the insurance authority imposing new rules and regulations governing the process of selling life insurance, I think it's become a little more difficult. Primarily because people who used to get very high levels of commission in the past are no more able to get that. See, actually speaking, it's a great step on the part of the regulator to bring in those steps, because a lot of mis-selling was happening, because people were more interested in getting their commissions rather than selling the right products to the ultimate owner, ultimate business, ultimate beneficiary. But now things are changing. So maybe what my thought process is that it will bring about a lot more professionals into the market, because only players who really want to sell properly will continue to operate in the long run. So I think from a client perspective, it is a very good move. A lot of mis-selling will go away, and people, I think the people who have taken out these policies can breathe easy. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time, and thank you for taking the trouble to call me up or write to me and saying that you would like to interview me. And I'm more than happy to have given my thoughts on this. And thank you again, once again, for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Take care. Have a good day.
Insurance Alerts is India's largest and Asia's second largest exclusive insurance news platform, reaching over 20 countries twice daily to insurance professionals with over 40% to top management of insurance companies, brokers, InsurTech, TPAs, and web aggregators.
We are connected to over 22,500 on LinkedIn. Our Insurance Alerts broadcast is the world's only exclusive insurance content YouTube channel with over 100 videos on insurance.